Namo Vishnupada Krishna Preshta Utale Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namo Vishnupada Krishna Preshta Utale Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. We are reading Isopanisad mantra 18. Agne naya supataraya asman prishvani deva vayunani vidvan yuyodyasmaj juhuranam eno bhuishtam te nama uktim vidhema. Translation Prabhupada by Śrīla Prabhupada. O my Lord, as powerful as fire, O omnipotent one, now I offer you all obeisances, falling on the ground at your feet. O my Lord, please lead me on the right path to reach you, and since you know all that I have done in the past, please free me from the reactions to my past sins, so there will be no hindrance to my progress. So this is the final mantra of Sri Isopanisad, and we'll go to Śrīla Prabhupada's purport. Here Prabhupada explains that the mantra is ultimate prayer for the mercy, causeless mercy of the Lord. The words are used, so it's good to see the word to words. Agne, O my Lord, as powerful as fire. Naya, kindly lead. Supatha, by the right path. Raye, for reaching you. Asman, us. Vishwani, all. Deva, O my Lord. Vayunani, actions. Vidwan, the knower. Yuyodhi, kindly remove. Asmat, from us. Juhuranam, all the hindrances on the path. Enaha, all vices. Bhuishtham, most numerous. Te, unto you. Namah uktim, words of obeisances. Vidhema, I do. So here Prabhupada starts the purport, explaining, by surrendering to the Lord and praying for His causeless mercy, the devotee can progress in the path of complete self-realization. Right, this first sentence of the purport actually clarifies a lot, just hits the point, just straight to the point. By surrendering to the Lord and praying for His causeless mercy, the devotee can progress in the path of complete realization. So then Śrīla Prabhupada explained why the word Agni is used. Because some unauthorized commentators, they are trying to say, oh, this is prayer to Agni. No? And you will see that later on, Vedānta-deśika Acharya and Madhvācārya, how do they explain it. But Śrīla Prabhupada also follows their footsteps and explains, Agni means the Lord. The Lord is addressed as a fire because He can burn anything into ashes, including the sins of the surrendered soul. And indeed, when we study Nectar of Devotion, this is the very first symptom or characteristics of bhakti. What is it? Klesha Agni. Klesha means? Distress. Huh? Klesha.
Miseries.
Yes, miseries. Difficulties. Klesha Agni, like a fire burns the dry grass to the ashes. Actually, the bhakti destroys all the difficulties, miseries. That is the first thing. And then, second one was Sukhada, giver of the happiness. So here, the next paragraph goes, the Śrīla Prabhupada explains what are the faults of karma kanda and the problems with jnana kanda, and how bhakti is superior to both. He just gives this gradation. So next paragraph describes this karmakanda's issues. Karmakanda, path of self-realization, is the lowest stage in this endeavor. What is karmakanda? Karmakanda is a particular portion of the Vedas, prescribing ritualistic activities, fruitive ritualistic activities, so one can achieve material happiness. Materialistic activities, karmakanda. Described in Veda, pushpitam vacham, the flowery language of Vedas. Means they'll offer you so much benefit, they will be attracted to that. But that is not what we should actually gain. This is rejected by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Nadanam, najanam, na sundarim kavitam. Sundarim kavitam refers to the beautiful poetry. Kavi is a poet. Sundarim kavitam is beautiful poetry, this flowery language of Vedas. Don't go for karma kanda. I don't want any offering from karma kanda portion of the Veda. Nadhanam, najanam, na sundarim kavitam. So this is rejected. Why? Because it's temporary material. And therefore this is called the lowest stage in the endeavor. What is endeavor? To surrender to the Lord, to develop love of God. The first stage is approach God for material things. So, okay, you approach God, but still you are thinking of the self, still the self is in the center. So it's called materialistic. 90% of Vedas deals with karma kanda. 90% of Vedas are material offerings. Why? Because jivas want material enjoyment. And how to purify them? First, okay, offer them some material benefit, so they will get purified by the regulations, by following it. It takes lifetimes, doesn't happen in one lifetime. And by the chanting the mantras, by going to temples, they get regulated. First they get regulated. At least it's not unrestricted sense gratification like animals do. It's regulated, and the person accepts there is Vedic authority. There is some God, some superior power. He is not clear who is God at this stage, but he obeys. Okay, Purohit said like that, our Guruji said like that, and elders that did, so I also do, and it works. I get material benefit, I have faith. So like that, gradually his rise by these regulations promoted to the platform of jnana, and then in jnana, when he comes to the sattva gun, really, theoretically he can understand that Vishnu is supreme. But unless one meets devotee, it's very difficult to actually become devotee or to understand from karma kanda, jnana kanda, and then upasana kanda, the worship of the Lord. So here Prabhupada exposes this karma kanda part. It's the lowest stage. As soon as such activities even slightly deviate from the regulative principles of Vedas, they are transformed into vikarma, or acts against the interests of the actor. Now, this is another thing. For example, the people want to eat meat, so Vedas give regulation, restriction, discouragement. You want to eat meat? Okay, you can offer to the Kali. To the Kali you can offer, but that's only once a month. I don't know, Namavasya, I guess. And then you have to chant mantras, you have to fast, you have to do this, you have to do that. Ultimately, so much endeavor for a little bit of meat. You may give it up altogether if you think about it, Now, if you open shop and you call it Durga Prasad, this is called vikarma. This is how you transgress the rule. Or, if you forget to offer in the samyagya, which is meant for devatas, if you miss one name of the devatas, all endeavor is, it will backfire. It's easy to transgress the rules. And you have to please all the devatas, which is almost impossible, because you'll get some type of happiness. You get money, but you don't get the health. Then what is use of your money? You'll spend everything on hospital. So it goes on like this, everything is linked together. So any discrepancy in the yagyas, any discrepancy in the procedure, it backfires. And you may turn vikarma. Vikarma means prohibited activities in Vedas, sinful activities. Acts against the interest of the actor. Such vikarma is enacted by illusion, living entity, simply for sense gratification. Okay? And thus such activities become hindrances on the path of self-realization. So then they do pious activities, and instead of progressing spiritually, they regress. They go on more and more material. They become more and more materialistic. Okay, jnana kanda. Prabhupada explained. There are 84 legs of species or forms of life, of which the human form qualified by Brahmanical culture presents the only chance to obtain knowledge of transcendence. Brahmanical culture includes truthfulness, sense control, forbearance, simplicity, full knowledge and full faith in God. What are those? Samodamas tapasaucham, shanti, rajavam, evacha, jnanam, vijnanam, astikya, brahmakarma svavajam. So these are the qualities of Brahmanas. So what is the problem with jnana kanda? Well, problem is, Like this. It is not that one simply become proud of his high parentage. You are born in Brahmin family and that's it, I am Brahmana. And this is a dangerous thing. If you identify with the body, that famous example is given that the people who usually cut dead animal's skin and dry it up and prepare it, they are called muchi. They are dealing with this horrible thing, leather, skin. Those who deal with skin are muchi. So if Brahmana thinks, I'm this body, I'm this skin, still he's muchi, he's considered degraded, untouchable. If Brahmana thinks, I'm this body, I belong to this family, I'm Brahmana by birth, he's still dealing with the skin. So he is considered muchi. Okay, such a birthright is not everything, Prabhupada said. For one still has to attain the Brahminical qualification for himself. Okay, you took birth in Brahmin family, it's a great opportunity to develop Brahminical qualities and be engaged in Brahminical activities, because all facilities are given. But if your own parents they do not follow, then what you will learn? Like today, so many boys from Brahmin family have no clue what is the duty of Brahmana. They participated few yagyas and pujas here and there, and they were, they pushed them, Brahmin thread on them it is needed. We attended one of these yagyas when parents are into it and boy is not into it. He's more than educated boy, So parents say, come on, for yagya, son has to sit, son has to put the grains also. All right, I'll sit. So he sits down without any attitude, without any will, So that the priest said that, touch your Brahmin thread, no? I don't wear Brahmin. Oh, you don't wear it? Okay. Then he does the quick puja, and he puts Brahmin thread. Boy doesn't want to wear Brahmin thread. Then finally mother cries and then he puts over the shirt. He's wearing shirt, he doesn't want to remove shirt. So over the shirt they put Brahmin thread and then like this. Swaham, swaham, swaham. What you will achieve by that? Whom you are going to please like this? Even parents are not pleased. They're so fried. What is it? It's a show. It's a showcase. Not really.
You can get the upavitra just before the marriage.
Yeah, just before the marriage you have to get upavitra, because they never did samskara of upanayana actually. So they don't follow. Who is doing garbhadana samskara? Now devotees in ISKCON they are doing, because they understood the importance of it. So here, one gets good facility. Just like in material life, say, my mother is doctor, my father is doctor. So definitely there will be some influence on me, some pressure, You should become doctor. But not necessary. Just because I'm born in doctor's family doesn't mean that you come to me and I'll perform surgery because I'm from doctor's family. No, but I may be mechanical engineer by profession, So I can repair your car, but don't give me your body because you may be in need of changing one, So here Prabhupada says, as soon as one becomes proud of his birth as the son of a Brahmana and neglects to acquire qualifications of real Brahmana, he at once becomes degraded and falls from the path of self-realization. Thus his life mission as a human being is defeated. Okay? So, like that. This is what it is. There is a chance is given by God, but you cannot take it for granted just by birth. We don't accept by birth. So Prabhupada quotes Bhagavad Gita 41-42. But he says, we are assured by the Lord that the yoga brashtas, or souls fallen from the path of self-realization, are given chance to rectify themselves by taking birth either in families of good brahmanas or in families of rich merchants. Such births afford higher chance for self-realization. Okay. So now, if these chances are misused due to illusion, one loses the opportunity of human life afforded by Almighty Lord. Two things are given. One is families of good Brahman and one rich merchants. Why rich merchants?
They have sufficient money so that...
Yeah, that you don't have to struggle for existence, First urge, Annamaya Kosha, feed the belly, First urge is that people are so disturbed if there are no means of livelihood, basic needs, if they're not provided, they have difficulties focusing on the Lord. So this is provided. You don't have to worry. Just you worship God now. You don't have to struggle for existence. Worship the Lord. And Brahminical families immediately, they engage you from childhood. You learn the mantras, you learn about God, you do so much punya, you participate in so many things. Right from childhood. It's very good samskaras. Brahmanas, they have how much? 55 samskaras to be performed in the one lifetime. That is considered Brahmana, one who performs all 55. And with proper attitude, with proper consciousness. And it's a good means, it's a good opportunity, it's a good circumstance to come to the Sattva Gun platform. So here, the Prabhupada explained, no? Given chance to rectify themselves. Rectify means they did not achieve previous lifetime. So this lifetime they given a little higher position. Okay, now you continue from there. No? Remember, neha vikramanashasti pratyavaryana vidyate swalpam apyasa dharmasya trayate mahato. Even little endeavor is not lost. Prabhupada say, if you did 50%, next life you're starting with 51%. So that's good. There's a hope. Like that, little by little. Okay. So here, these are the problems with Jnana Kanda, Karma Kanda. Then Prabhupada explains, Bhakti surpasses all preliminary stages. The regulative principles are such that one who follows them is promoted to the platform of fruitive activities, Karma Kanda, to the platform of transcendental knowledge, Jnana Kanda. After many, many lifetimes cultivating transcendental knowledge, one becomes perfect when he surrenders unto the Lord. Which one is that? Bahunam janmanam ante jnanam mam prapadyante vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha. But one who surrenders at the very beginning, as recommended in this mantra, at once surpasses all preliminary stages simply by adopting this devotional attitude. Now, bhakti you can start practicing from beginning. We don't have to go through Karma Kanda. We don't have to go to Jnana. We don't have to come to temple and first Prabhuji 6 months you pray for material. Then you pray for moksha next 6 months. Then only you can practice bhakti. And nothing like that. Immediately we can engage in bhakti. This is the beauty of bhakti. Because it is constitutional position of the soul to serve Lord. So from the beginning we can practice bhakti. And we can from beginning engage in pure bhakti. Pure bhakti doesn't mean that we are free from material desires, but the attitude that we want to please Lord and we don't want to get any material benefit. That is attitude of pure bhakti, and that will lead us to pure bhakti. Prabhupada said, all my disciples are pure devotees. Pure devotees. Even they were surprised hearing this. Prabhupada, pure devotees. But point is that the attitude is they joined the movement to realize God, to develop love of God. They did not join to gain material benefit. They did not join to merge into the Brahmajyoti. No. They joined to achieve bhakti. Now this is different thing, that heart is full of anarthas and then they will get purified if they follow the process. It's a question of time to become pure. But point is that the attitude is that. But here people come to God purposely, consciously for material benefit. Purposely, consciously to merge, to get moksha. Self is in the center, or to get siddhis, or any other benefit. So here, Prabhupada quotes immediately, as stated Bhagavad Gita 1866. The Lord at once takes charge of such surrendered soul and frees him from all reaction to his sinful activities. What is that, 1866? Sarva dharmam parityaja mam ekam sharanam aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami mashucha. I'll give free you from all sinful reaction. Do not be afraid. This is a guarantee. This is what Krishna guarantees to the devotees who surrender. So here, there are many sinful reactions involving karma kanda activities, whereas in jnana kanda, the part of philosophical development, number of such sinful activities is smaller. But in devotion service to the Lord, the path of bhakti, there is practically no chance of incurring sinful reactions, because a devotee of the Lord attains all good qualifications of the Lord himself. What to speak of those of a Brahmana? Look at this one, no? Devotee attains the good qualification of Lord himself. What to speak of good qualification of Brahmana? No? So this is very interesting point. A devotee automatically attains the qualification on expert brahmana, authorized to perform sacrifices, even though the devotee may not have taken his birth in Brahmana family. Such is the omnipotence of the Lord. He can make a man born in Brahmana family as degraded as a low-born dog-eater. And he can also make a low-born dog-eater superior to a qualified Brahmana, simply on the strength of devotional service. Now, of course, the Lord is not whimsically putting Brahmanas into dogs' bodies, but point is that if Brahmana wants to degrade himself, he can degrade himself, and Lord will award him dog's body. And if dog eater surrenders, he can get qualification, status of a Brahmana, which follows all the other things which he is not aspiring for. He may be treated as respectful as a Brahmana. And you can see that. You can see that in India particularly, when devotees go out in shaved head and in dhotis and kurtas and preach, people respect you as a Brahmanas. They don't ask you from which background you are coming from and this and that. They simply respect. They respect. You are sadhu, devotee, good, pranam. Even Brahmanas, they offer pranam. No? When we go Harinam, how many times people will offer dandavat pranam on the road itself? No? So much respect is given. Of course, devotees, they are not aspiring for respect and they should not accept respect for themselves. If anybody offers pranam to devotee thinks, so this is pranam to my Guru Maharaj, this is pranam to Prabhupada. Because I do their service and preach what they told me, glorification is meant for them. Glorification is meant for Krishna, not for me. So in that way, devotee's attitude is protected. No? Okay, so here, then Prabhupada explains how Lord takes care of his surrendered soul. Lord gives direction to his sincere devotees. Since the omnipotent Lord is situated within the heart of everyone, he can give directions to his sincere devotees by which they can attain the right path. Such direction is specially offered to the devotee, even if he desires something else. Okay, so now this is direction, really guidance, how to come to him. Even devotee at the beginning a little confused. What shall I desire in my spiritual progress? Still, Lord gives proper guidance that he becomes free from material desire or any other motivation and purifies him. Okay, here, as far as others are concerned, God gives sanctions to the doer only at the risk of the doer. Okay, why? Samoham sarvabhuteshu named vestastina priyaha. Whatever you desire according to your karma, Lord will award you, but that's on your own risk. But devotee, even if he is asking something bad, Lord may not give. No? Lord is interfering. He will give what is good for us. Like a shopkeeper. He will sell anything to anybody who pays. Correct? No? Anybody, child comes and purchases a knife, or in America you can purchase heavy machine guns. And shopkeeper pay money there. Doesn't think, this is some 19 years old boy may misuse it. And indeed he did, 17 people killed. So, but the merchants, they don't care. They make their business. No. But will father of that boy give him a gun? Not supposed to, no. Nowadays you can't tell. Father may also give. No. But if he's love and affection, father, he will not give. He will not give a child to play with it. So same thing, Lord is concerned for the soul and he gives appropriate blessings. What he requires, thinks it is required. Now not exactly every desire of devotee has to be fulfilled by the Lord. Because Lord, I'm devotee, whatever I desire should be fulfilled. Not like that. Whatever is good for us, Lord will give us. No? But to the karmis who want material things, Lord says, okay, I'll give you, but you ask for it, you take the risk of it. Look at this one. God gives sanction to the doer only at the risk of the doer. But to devotee, no risk. No risk, because Lord is taking care. So he quotes Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.42. Śrīpāda Madhvācārya priyasya. The Lord is so kind to the devotee, who is fully surrendered to his lotus feet, then even though devotee sometimes falls into entanglement of vikarma acts against the Vedic directions, the Lord at once rectifies such mistake from within his heart. This is because the devotees are very dear to the Lord. So this is the attitude. Even devotee does some mess, Lord say, okay, we will rectify him. But of course, this should not be misused. Remember, Apichet Sudurachara Prabhupada say, if due to weakness of the heart, somebody falls down, that is accepted by the Lord, rectified, forgiven. But if continuously goes on and on, that may not be forgiven. So here Prabhupada explains. In this mantra of Isopanisad, the devotee prays to the Lord to rectify him from within his heart. Okay. So we had first mantra 15, please Lord, remove that effulgence so I can see your beautiful face. Second mantra say, oh Lord, now second mantra also requested even more intensely to see the personal form and reveal Svarupa, to see the Lord, to bless him. And mantra 17, yesterday we were discussing, now at the time of death, Lord, please bless me, accept my service. And now the mantra says today that my Lord, as powerful as fire, omnipotent one, now I offer you all obeisances, falling on the ground at your feet. Please lead me to the right path to reach you. And since you know all that I have done in the past, please free me from reactions to my sins, past sins, so there will be no hindrance of my progress. So this is what Srila Prabhupada said, that in this mantra, Śrīpāda devotee prays to Lord to rectify him from within the heart, so that he can go home back to Godhead, free him from the sin, guide him on path of moksha, guide him on path of liberation. Our conditioned soul is very often apt to commit mistakes. To err is human. And the only remedial measure to take against such unintentional sins is to give up oneself up to the lotus feet of the Lord, so that he may guide one to avoid such pitfalls. Unintentional sins. Okay, these are ones which are forgiven by the Lord. The Lord takes charge of fully surrendered souls. Thus all problems of souls simply by surrendering oneself unto the Lord and acting in terms of his directions. Surrendering and acting. It's not just lip service, no. Lord, I'm yours, no. And then mess and confusion, It's more practical than we think at our stage. There was a devotee who says, that I declared, after class I heard, I have to declare, Lord, I'm yours, and now everything is in your hand. So he went to the shop and he went to purchase some cheese. So he asked, please, sir, give me half kg of the cheese. So fellow came and cut cheese, but was more than half kg. It was 750 grams. So he thought now, what to do now? So next day on the class, he's asking Guru Maharaj, Maharaj, I wanted half kg of cheese, but the shopkeeper gave me 750 grams. Yesterday I declared, Krishna, I'm yours. So shall I take it as a Krishna's plan, 750? But maybe it's Maya's plan. The 750 I have to pay more and spend money on cheese, which is unnecessary, So what's the point? The point is that one should not be bewildered at this stage. What we have to do is ask Guru how to serve. Now, Prabhupada said that you ask, if you want to serve me, Prabhupada said, if you want to serve me, if you want to do something for me, you ask, Prabhupada, how can I serve you? Prabhupada said, and I will tell you, bring me a glass of water. That's it, simple. So, how to see Krishna's hand? Ask Guru, he will tell you what to do. Do this, do this, do this, do this. These are the general principles. Now, we have to do this. We have to wake up in the morning. We have to chant 60 rounds. We have to follow 4 principles. We have to follow the senior leaders, we have to study Prabhupada's books, we have to dedicate ourselves, we have to render the service, we have to be engaged 24 hours a day. This is quite some guidance. It's not much vague space between or some vacuum, it's filled, everything is filled with the service, And details you ask guidance from senior devotees, But not that every single thing now you go on speculating. Is it Krishna's plan? Is it Maya's plan? It's acting in terms of his directions. Guru, Sadhu, Shastra we follow. Okay, Prabhupada says like this. Such direction given to the sincere devotee in two ways. First, by way of saints, scriptures and spiritual master. Means, Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. Guru is your Diksha Guru. Sadhu is Shiksha Guru. All paramparas, all sadhus, devotees. And Shastra is Shastra. And the other ways, by way of the Lord Himself, who resides within the heart of everyone. Chaitya Guru. Lord in the heart gives guidance also. Now this is the one which I was talking about cheese. At this level, we are better to stick to Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, and otherwise we'll misunderstand. And you will see, Krishna is guiding even now from the heart. It's not that He is not guiding, but we are not able to discriminate. Is it mind's words or is it Krishna's voice? Is it mind talking or is Krishna talking? But one who is pure devotee, he can freely hear the voice of Paramatma, the voice of Krishna. That was just like Śrīla Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Ṭhākura says, I don't prepare topics for the class. Whatever spirit guides, I speak. So, this is the second one. Why? He's a pure devotee, he's a very sincere soul. He's hearing, We cannot hear because our mind is shouting, our own desires are louder, So we kind of, Krishna's plan. So at the beginning, better we ask, cross-check with senior devotees, is this Krishna's plan? With Guru, you cross-check, is this Krishna's plan, Guru Maharaj? No, Krishna told me. Okay, so... Thus devotees fully enlightened in Vedic knowledge is protected in all respects. So he is protected by Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. Devotees are there, Shastras are there, previous acharyas are there, Diksha Guru is there, and Paramatma in the heart. And still we are messing it up. No chance for a devotee to fall again. Vedic knowledge is transcendental, cannot be understood by mundane educational procedures. Heard that one? Somebody told that, I have to put my daughter in college because without degree she cannot preach. I thought without degree it's easier to preach. Because they will ask, then why you went to college, you got a degree, now you are telling my son should not get the degree, no? For example, this one disadvantage, you are degree holder, you remember that one? So, that is not that by going to mundane college now you will know the bhakti, that's not the way. Once he can understand the Vedic mantras only by the grace of the Lord and the spiritual master. Of course, yasya deve parabhaktir yata deve tata guru tasyate katita hyarta prakashante mahatmana. What is it? From where? Quote? Shvetashvatara Upanishad. You want to take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master, it is to be understood that he has obtained the grace of the Lord. How you know that this is Krishna's plan? You see this? You want to take shelter of a guru, that is guarantee proof that you got mercy of the Lord, because you got the bona fide guru. That is mercy of the Lord. This is how it is visible. Oh, have I received mercy? You have a guru? Yes, you have received the mercy. This is clear sign, as simple as that. Okay. The Lord appears as the spiritual master for the devotee. The Guru is described as Ashaya Vigraha of the Lord, or the form of the Lord of which one should take shelter. So it is representative of the Lord. Lord say, I myself come as a spiritual master. It doesn't mean the spiritual master is God. It's a representative of the Lord. But what means is as good as God. Because by meeting the Guru and meeting the Krishna, you'll get same result. You will get love of God. Because there's no difference. Meeting a Guru who has Krishna in the heart, he is going to guide you, he is going to deliver you. Huh? But for us it's easier to meet Guru than Krishna. Because it's difficult to perceive by our eyes spiritual form of the Lord or understand his pastimes or something. But Guru comes just as an ordinary person. He comes and acts. If Prabhupada came, there was a devotee having a dream of seeing Prabhupada in effulgent, beautiful, youthful body. And he told to Prabhupada, I dreamed you in golden, effulgent, youthful body like this. It's a spiritual form. So some discussion, why did you not come like this? So Prabhupada said that's people will misunderstand. If Prabhupada came on Garuda riding or some 4K, flying around, people will misunderstand. Oh, Swamiji, you can follow this four principle, you are flying around, you are coming from, we cannot, we are conditioned souls. So Guru comes as the ordinary, appears in ordinary family, has his own family, has his own job, went to his own education, went through all troubles that we are going. And he said, I also went, and I chant Hare Krishna. No? Prabhupada said, when I was householder, I used to finish my 60 rounds every day. Sometimes he mentioned 4 in the morning, 4 before lunch, then afternoon 4, and evening 4. He mentioned once to Śrīla Prabhupada. So, Prabhupada also had family job, so I can chant. Gives you courage. He was Grihastha, then he took sannyas. He showed us the way. Now, not that he has to do that, not that he had material desires or anything like that, But he acted to show us that, look, I was also like you, I also practice bhakti now, you can also practice. It's encouraging very much. Otherwise, if a spiritual master coming flying around, you can do, we cannot. Oh, you are so great, we are fallen conditioned souls. So this is the one. So Lord appears as spiritual master for the devotee and gives guidance. Thus the spiritual masters, the Vedic injunctions, and the Lord himself from within all guide the devotee in full strength. The devotee, thus protected all around, is sure to reach ultimate destination or perfection. Then again quote, Srimad Bhagavatam, 4 shlokas are quoted, Srimata Sakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanam. So this is the basically conclusion, it's just translations of these shlokas. Hearing and chanting the glories of Lord itself is an act of piety. No? Punya, Shravana Kirtana. It's no better pious activity than Shravana Kirtana. The Lord wants everyone to hear and chant His glories because He is well-wisher of all living entities. Okay, so by hearing and chanting the glories of Lord, one becomes cleansed of all undesirable things. So this is cleaning heart, anartha nivritti stage. Okay, and then after anartha nivritti comes nishtha, correct? Adavshada, tada satsanga, tad bhajana kriya. Bhajana kriya means the serving a guru and following his instructions. Bhajana kriya, in association of devotees. Then anartha nivritti, unwanted, undesirable things are removed from the heart. And then, once devotion becomes fixed, nishtha, upon the Lord. At this stage, devotee acquires Brahmanical qualification and the effects of the lower modes of nature, passion, ignorance, completely vanish. The devotee becomes fully enlightened by the virtue of his devotional service, and thus he comes to know the path of the Lord and the way to attain Him. As all doubts diminish, he becomes a pure devotee. So this is the process Prabhupada gives as a conclusion. No? So that prayer, today's prayer is for that. That Lord, guide me on the path of liberation. Please remove the hindrances. I should not unintentionally or intentionally commit any sin. Let me know any hindrances on my path. You guide me to come back home, back to Godhead, to your lotus feet, eternally in your service. So this is the prayer. So here, I just read some other quotes of Srila Prabhupada. This is very interesting. Letter to Jagannath Sutta. This is from 1976. Prabhupada writes. Jagannath Sutta Prabhupada was engaged in printing the Anyway, you'll see from the letter. Printing the back to Godhead. Look at the letter. Please accept my blessings. I'm due to receipt of your letter dated August 1876 and this separate package containing 10 Back to Godhead magazines. Thank you very much for them. Actually, I'm dependent on your mercy. Prabhupada is writing to his disciples. Actually, I'm dependent on your mercy. Look at the second sentence. If you kindly follow my instructions and continue to push Krishna consciousness, that will make me very happy. You see how Guru has understanding. You see that? It's a very amazing letter. I depend on your mercy. He is not thinking, yes, you have to serve me and No. He said, my Guru Maharaj sent all of you to help me in my service. So I depend on your service. I depend on your mercy. How humble attitude he has as a Vaishnava Guru. No? But immediately he is a Guru. He is instructing. If you follow my instructions and continue to push on Krishna consciousness, that will make me very happy. You must strictly observe the regulative principles and chant 16 rounds a day, and Krishna will give you guidance. So this is so clear for us. No? How to get guidance from Krishna. Krishna is directing from the heart and this. Yeah. If we chant 16 rounds and follow 4 regulative principles, then Krishna gives guidance. Then so many things happens. You can see in Prabhupada's time, all the devotees of early days, they said this, Shyamasundar Prabhu, he says also that they were hippies already. The hippie means somebody who was not really into the following regular social customs. He was not part of regular society. He was a rebellious person. Okay, whatever parents did, they did opposite. Parents would have nice hair, cut, long hair. Parents would be nicely dressed, crazy way, Parents you have to have car, you have to have house, you have to regulate their life. No car. They will live in the tree. They will live under the tree. They will live naked on the ranch. They will, No bathing. That was the rule. That was wholeheartedly accepted because Tamagun, They were rebellious. Then Shyamasundar Prabhu says in his book, Hunting the Rhinos with the Swamiji, he says that then Prabhupada comes and he is fitting the youthful movement because he's bald head, he's dressed differently, he's completely out of the regular society, And he's not our local religion which our parents are pushing, he's Indian religion. Wow, he's the perfect person for us, And then already they were crazy doing all kinds of daring things. But he said, he used to sell drugs and he was caught by police and mess, So he said, I would dare to carry heroin and ganja and I don't know, all kinds of list is given there, whether they use LSD and, some chemical drugs. He would dare, again take them, although been arrested, again he would sell and he said, we were so much daring. Now Prabhupada comes and says, okay, organize big program. They don't have 1 rupee with them, $1, nothing they have. They have no place. And they said, we knew if Swamiji says it will happen. Why? Because it's pure devotee of Krishna. We just have to go and we'll get it done, And all of them, they had that experience. Just doors opens, So many devotees have this experience. Shyamasundar Prabhu had so much of that type of realization that Prabhupada tell impossible thing. But they would not think, possible, impossible. Swamiji say, he is in Krishna's hands. Definitely Krishna will help us. And things were happening like this. That Prabhupada wanted to print Gita. So they tried so many printing presses, but nobody wanted to print it. They thought, well, Gita, who will read this spiritual topic, no profit will be done, So one day this Macmillan company ordered one of the records, Hare Krishna records published by devotees. So Prabhupada said, from record, why don't you ask them to print our manuscript? And Brahmananda thought, Prabhupada, this is the biggest printing house, no way they are going to take it, And Prabhupada, no, you just ask them. So he was arguing with Prabhupada. No use asking them, Prabhupada, no, already asked so many people, they are not going to take. These are big people, what are you going to take, So Prabhupada said, anyway, you take the script And ask them, you're going to deliver that record to them, just ask them, And then, he said, all right, half-hearted, half-minded, like, no hope, So somebody from the street comes and goes to the big printing press and says, look, I have manuscript from Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada was not so known at that time, it's not, it was difficult. He already got this heart and trying so many places. And through contacts to that Ginsberg and to others, they tried, but nothing worked. He came to the company and said, I delivered the record and by the way, my guru has a manuscript for Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, that's exactly what we are looking for. Taken, And then Brahmananda on the way back, he said, running back to tell to Swamiji good news that it happened as you say. Whatever you say, it happens. There's so much realization. He didn't come, like pushy or some heavy mind or something. Nothing. He just obeyed the order. Okay, I'll tell. Some manuscript. Bhagavad Gita. They published. And this big company, big publicity. It's immediately some high class authorities. It helps preaching. It helps to spread it. So many of them they have this. Go to London and open the center. Yeah, go to London and open center. It's not so easy, Correct? And go to Ṭhākura and open center, and we have 5 years struggle, we still didn't open the center. Correct? It's not so easy. And then Beatles also, they ordered the record. So Shyamasundar knew. So, they ordered our Hare Krishna record. So maybe they are interested. So he went on to meet them, And also, like that, it's just amazing how Krishna was guiding them. So many ways, so many times. They had an Apple record company, Beatles. And so Shyamasundar would go daily to meet them, but, it was difficult to meet them. They were so busy, they were so famous, Beatles, the band. And devotees will make apple pies, apple cakes, because apple company, so they wanted to, get their attraction. And they, prasadam he will bring daily prasadam to the secretary and prasadam would disappear. But no news of Beatles, So one day Shyamasundar Prabhu was just moving around the studio, there in the reception room. And suddenly, George Harrison just appeared. Say, hey, Hare Krishna, where have you been? I'm looking for you guys all around. Then he takes him in the room and tells him, actually me and John were, traveling Europe in the boat for 1 month. We just, all day we would chant Hare Krishna. We didn't feel hunger, we didn't feel so much bliss. We heard your records millions of times. So, are you here in London? What are you doing? They just, Shyamasundar was in bliss, remember? And George told him, he appreciated devotees because they never asked him for money. You know that one? Yeah. So Shyamasundar was particular, never asking for anything. Just make friends with him, prasadam. Whatever he wants to do, let him do, but we will not ask anything. Till Prabhupada came. Prabhupada came and said, your friend George Harrison, maybe he can sponsor Krishna book. And Shyamasundar was like, but Prabhupada, we didn't want to ask him because he's so fried with so many people come around him and ultimately they ask him, and other religious group, he himself told me they were around him moving, and then one day they would ask the money. So Prabhupada, I'll not ask him, I didn't ask him. Prabhupada, Krishna will help you. Then Shyamasundar, yes. He knew the George, he's not going to take it in good spirit. He knew because he was so fried. He himself told me he was so fried with this type of things. So anyway, the opportunity was there. But Prabhupada said, he has to do it. So they went, met the George and some dinner, this, that. And just at the end of dinner, he has to spell it out. He said, anyway, whatever happened, Prabhupada told me to do, I'll do it. So he said, and George, Prabhupada asked would you like to donate for printing of his new book, and that Krishna book he wants to print. And George faced him. And Shyamasundar said, I saw on his face, I knew it. One day they will come and ask for money. Another bogus group. They're all about money, And that moment, what happened? There was a storm outside going. The thunderbolt hit the house. Current went off. There was thunder, boom, and current went off. And in few moments, Karen went back. And Shyamasundar looked at George. And George, big smile. After this, who would refuse you? After this, who would refuse, So later on, Shyamasundar asked George, many years later when they met, Mukunda Maharaj and Shyamasundar asked, what you thought that time? That time first I was thinking, my goodness, they are asking for money. Are they another bogus group? Krishna, give me a sign. And then, the current went off. And then he said, that's it. He accepted Krishna's sign. And Prabhupada said, Krishna will help you. Because it was very difficult. And he printed the book, and you will see his forward he printed, Haribol, all you need is love, Krishna. George Harrison. You know how many books we distributed because his name was on that book? All the youth were mad after Beatles. And then after that they published our own Hare Krishna Temple, Radha Krishna Temple records. Just through him, so many people became devotees. So many. All the devotees, 70s, they were distributing books. You know George Harrison? Yeah. He reads these books. Oh, immediately they will buy. There's so much advantage. Okay, so this is if we take the guidance. So we follow 4 principles and 16 rounds, and Krishna will give guidance. This is also stated in Bhagavad Gita, Tesham satata yuktanam vajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam payanti te. Those who worship him with love, Krishna gives guidance so that they can come back to him. Now, see this one. The more you give service to Krishna, the more you become advanced. Yasya deve para bhaktir yata deve tata guru tasyaite katita hyartha prakashante mahatmana. Only unto those great souls who simultaneously have implicit faith in both the Lord and spiritual master are all imports of Vedic knowledge automatically revealed. This is the secret of success. Have full faith in Guru and Krishna and obey his Guru's order. And this is the secret of success. See that? This is bhakti. This is bhakti. This is understanding. Not by own strength, unless I learn Sanskrit, no use. One devotee came and told me, unless you learn Sanskrit, you are nobody in ISKCON. Why? Where this idea comes from? Why? By the way, who knows the Sanskrit? Few people. Who knows? In all ISKCON, 5 people know Sanskrit. Why nobody? But you see this misunderstanding that depends on our endeavor. Anyway, this is just for your reference. By the way, there have been some disturbance created by publishing few comments on Vallabhacharya in Back to Godhead. That was that famous mess then they published. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told about Vallabhacharya in Back to Godhead, so all Pushti Margas got disturbed, Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejected Vallabha's proposal to hear from him commentaries on Bhagavatam, which did not follow Sridhar Swami. Chaitanya said, prostitute, you do not follow the Swami. Heavy comment. And they publish Back to Godhead, and all Pushti Margas, they flip out. And who is that? Sumati Morarji. so then you will see next letter after this in folio is letter to Sumati Morarji. I heard you are very much upset about this Back to Godhead. I did not tell them to publish, but the fact is there. That Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him, this is from Shastra. Prabhupada did not budge. He was not personal. Okay, here. Another quote is here. Unless the living entity is situated in Krishna consciousness, he cannot approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yet the Lord, by his omnipotency, can dictate from within, as a supersoul, how a living entity can gradually come to him, even while performing his ordinary work. Ordinary work means karma. Karma, kanda, karma yoga. As the Lord advised in Bhagavad Gita, whatever you do, do it for me. Whatever you eat, first offer to me. Yat karoshi, yad ashnashi, yad juhoshi, dadasyat, yad tapasyasi kantya, tat kurushva, mad arpanam. Whatever chat you give to me. First you give it to me. Whatever austerities, penance you want to perform them for me. In this way, karmas are directed gradually to develop Krishna consciousness. Similarly, Krishna directs the philosophers, Jnanis, Jnana Kanda we were discussing, to approach him gradually by discriminating between Brahman and Maya. For at last, when one is mature in knowledge, he surrenders unto Krishna. Jnana mam prapadyante. As Krishna says in Gita, after many, many births, the wise philosopher surrenders unto me. The yogis are also directed to concentrate their meditation upon Krishna within the heart. As by such a continuous process of Krishna consciousness, they can also become free from clutches of material energy. The devotees, however, are engaged in devotional service with love and affection from the very beginning. And therefore the Lord personally directs them so they can approach Him without difficulty or deviation. This is stated in Gita. Only by His grace, only by the grace of the Lord can the living entity understand the exact position of Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. Okay, now another one. Quote. When the living being desired to be an enjoyer of material energy, illusory phenomenon, the Lord covers the living being in the mystery of forgetfulness. And thus the living being misinterprets the gross body and subtle mind to be his own self. And by culture of transcendental knowledge, when the living being prays to the Lord for deliverance from clutches of forgetfulness, the Lord, by His causeless mercy, removes the living being's illusory curtain. And thus he realizes his own self. He then engaged himself in service of the Lord in his eternal constitutional position, becoming liberated from the conditioned life. All this is executed by Lord either through his external or directly by internal potencies. So here, this is also explained that Lord is always guiding living entity. Always doors are open. But this is our misunderstanding, our desires to lord over material nature. So here, then again, Prabhupada gives this gradation in comparison to other processes. The mystic yogis, after strenuous effort to control the senses, may be situated in trance of yoga, just to have a vision of Supersoul within everyone. But the pure devotee, simply by remembering the lotus feet at every second, at once becomes established in real trance. After strenuous effort, yogi. It's not easy the yoga process. No? But devotee, at every second he can think of the lotus feet of the Lord and establish in real trance, because by such realization his mind and intelligence are completely cleansed of all disease of material enjoyment. No? So yoga is example of by self-endeavor. One has to control mind and the senses. But we can absorb ourselves. How impersonal is they have difficulties. They don't accept Krishna's form, His name, His qualities, His pastimes. They cannot meditate on Krishna Leelas because they don't accept them as a true. How they are going to get purified? How can they focus their mind? Even other religions who have no much knowledge about God, they have great difficulties to think of the Lord all the time. Great difficulties. They know that unengaged mind is devil's factory. So there is one group of Christians, one sect, who they know that we have to engage 24 hours. So what they were doing, they could not pray 24 hours, and that's what ones. Very few of them, the seniors ones, they could pray 24 hours a day. Maybe 2 hours, 3 hours sleep, but most of the time praying. But others, younger ones who just join, they make them busy by making cane baskets. So all year they'll make baskets, and last day of the year they'll burn them all up. Just to engage mind. They don't want to sell them, they don't want to have material activities, they don't want to be part of the world, they live in their own seclusion. They make baskets and they burn them at the end of the So they understood we have to engage mind, but they don't have varieties of activities. They do not understand how everything could be used in Krishna service. No? Many people think, selling books, you are like business people. Why you took sadhu cloth and you are taking money? Why? How many times we are accused for that? They do not understand. This is for Krishna. The money will be used for Krishna. Nobody has personal account. Nobody has personal interest. It's not material. And it's not material. If you give donation to Krishna, what is material then? No, you are getting benefit. So all these things are that how they can meditate on the Lord. They do not know. They do not know His activities, past and nothing. So this is difficult. Okay, here. An ordinary Brahmana may fall down from Brahma Tejas or the power of Brahmanical excellence due to his association with many fallen conditioned souls. So now even if you are well situated in Brahma tejas, even your Brahman realization, good qualities. If you associate with sinful people, you may become degraded. Brahma, as the supermost Brahmana, is afraid of such fall down, and therefore he prays to Lord for protection. Okay, the Brahma was asked to Lord to do the Visarga, secondary creation. So Brahma is praying to Lord after hearing this, I have to do such a service dealing with material nature. Please Lord, let me not be in Maya. Lord Brahma is praying. Okay, this is a warning for one and all in the spiritual advancement of life. Unless one is sufficiently protected by the Lord, he may fall down from the spiritual position. Therefore, one has to pray constantly to the Lord for protection and the blessing to carry out one's duty. Now, this is good attitude. This is important for us. This mantra, this is exactly what last mantra Isopanisad says. Lord, guide us on the path of liberation. Protect us from sin. Protect us from unintentional sin. Protect us from previous sins. We don't want to fall down. We want to advance in the progress. So one has to pray constantly. Not that you distribute books, and then it goes well, and distribute many books, that's it, I'm the doer, I'm the one, and then you stop praying and you start, and it's a not good position. Everybody, not only book distributors, everybody has to pray every day. We have to pray for the mercy of Lord so we can do our service. Lord empowers us, permits, engages, makes arrangements that we can accomplish the order of Guru. Lord Chaitanya also entrusted his missionary work to his devotees and assured them of his protection against the onslaught of material affection. The path of spiritual life is stated by Vedas to be like the edge of a sharpened razor. A little inattentiveness may at once create havoc and bloodshed, but one who is completely surrendered soul, always seeking protection from Lord in discharge of his entrusted duties, has no fear of falling into material contamination. So we should really just keep in mind that this prayer, it's a good attitude. This is good to pray daily for the Lord's mercy and blessings to carry out one's duty. Another quote for Prabhupada. But for the devotee, there is no concern for his life, for this life or next life, because in any life he does not desire material elevation. He prays to the Lord, my dear Lord, it does not matter where I am born, but let me be born, even as an ant, in the house of a devotee. You see that? So this is, now we are speaking about attitude. What should be the attitude? What should we pray for? What should we pray for to the Lord? No? So this is Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura famous. A pure devotee does not pray to Lord for liberation from material bondage. Actually, the pure devotee never thinks that he is fit for liberation. Considering his past life and his mischievous activities, he thinks that he is fit to be sent to the lowest region of hell. If in this life I am trying to become a devotee, that does not mean that in my past life I was 100% pious. Definitely, that is not possible. Otherwise, why you took birth again? Oh, to deliver others. No. A devotee, therefore, is always conscious of his real position. Only by his full surrender to the Lord, by the Lord's grace, are his sufferings mitigated. Guru Maharaj said that 1978-79, one of his god brothers from the Vyasa-san, he was giving class, and he was a guru at that time. So he said, now Maya cannot touch anymore. At this moment, Maya cannot influence. And Guru Maharaj and another good brother, all Prabhupada's disciples, they look at each other. Oop. That's not good attitude. You're challenging Maya. Gone. I think 86 he left. Fall down. So Guru Maharaj told us this. Once on the class he told that don't challenge Maya. Don't think I'm now great, I know. Maya cannot do anything to me. People become puffed up. He just say, on Vyasa-san, he's speaking, giving class, they say, at this moment, Maya cannot touch me. There's no any moment that Maya is not touching me. Then Meenakshi, one who has eyes as a fish. Fish, they don't have eyelids, they never close eye. Maya is always watching. Oh, you are so advanced. Maya cannot touch you. Bam! Touch him, slapped him, beating him like anything, If you know what's happening in his life, you understand what I'm talking about. So difficult. Such a Maya. Another sannyasi was attracted by Maya. So he thought, okay, there is some nice Mataji and she is also reciprocating, so let me run away with her. So he wrote letter, dear devotees, forgive me. He was GBC and sannyasi. Forgive me, please, I cannot, I'm in Maya, I cannot pretend that I'm sannyasi and I'm GBC, simply, and please forgive me, I'll promise to chant 16 rounds and, I'll come back. But no, Maya is just, I'm bewildered. So he left the letter on the table and he had an agreement that they will meet with that Mataji, him on the airport, and they will fly away somewhere in unknown place and live happily ever after. And he left the letter on the table, came to airport, and she never came. And he thought, oh, the letter. If I didn't give the letter, I could just come back walking. First kick, first day of so-called enjoyment, The Mataji didn't come. So after that, the devotee asked, what happened? No, how can I, because of sannyasi, fall down? No, but she already did, So she didn't come. That was his idea of enjoying. I'll be enjoying life, Miserable, no? Anyway, he's back. He's amazing devotee. He learned the tough way lesson. So we have to pray. We have to pray, all of us. Don't think, anybody who thinks, oh, now I'm okay, now it's... even if he's like that, you feel scared, any moment, something may happen. Okay? So, a devotee therefore is always conscious of his real position. Only by his full surrender to Lord, by Lord's grace, are his sufferings mitigated. As stated in Gita, surrender unto me and I'll give you protection from all kinds of sinful reaction. That is his mercy. But that does not mean that one has to surrender, that one who has surrendered to the lotus feet of the Lord has committed no misdeeds in his past life. A devotee always prays, for my misdeed, may I be born again and again. But my only prayer is that I may not forget your service. The devotee has such mental strength, and he prays to the Lord. May I be born again and again, but let me be born in home of your pure devotee, so that I may again get a chance to develop my spiritual life. That is proper attitude. No? Not that, one neophyte devotee is talking to another neophyte devotee who called himself Shiksha Guru. You say, Prabhuji, you are my Shiksha Guru. By your mercy, definitely I'll go home back to Godhead. And fellow is reply, definitely. Shiksha Guru, Baba. He called himself Shiksha Guru. He does house program and then he introduces first day. So you are all now students in spiritual life and I'm your Shiksha Guru. And later on you'll get Diksha Guru. So I'll introduce you to Diksha Guru, but I'm your Shiksha Guru. So then when they come from that temple, when they come to our temple, whoever, I say, where are you from? I'm from such and such a place, and my Shiksha Guru is this and this. And then I every time say, who? Not this Prabhuji. I never heard. You don't know him? I don't know. Jagat Guru, I never heard. So, so he's preaching like this. He's preaching like this. I am your Shiksha Guru, I'm your Shiksha Guru. I'm your servant. What about that one? Didn't come to that chapter yet. Okay, so here, this is a famous Kunti Maharani's prayers. What is her prayer? Apart from the famous one that put us in calamity, in disaster more and more, so we can remember you, my Lord. Another one. Yatha Vishvesha Vishwatman Vishwamurti Svakeshu me Sneha Pasham Imam Chindi Vridam Pandushu Vrishnishu. Look at the lady prayers. O Lord of the universe, soul of the universe, personality in the form of the universe, please therefore sever my tie of affection for my kinsmen, the Pandavas and the Vrishnis. Pandavas were devotees, you know. But she say, I should be attached to them as a devotees, but not as my sons. You see that one? I should see them as your devotees. That's okay, but I should not see them my kinsmen, my sons, my relatives. Sneha pasham. Sneha means affection. Pasham means ropes. Sneha pasham, vidam chindi, you cut. O Lord of Madhu, as the Ganga forever flows to sea without hindrance, let my attraction be constantly drawn unto you without being diverted to anyone else. That is pure bhakti, that's a prayer. Here, because a devotee does not pray to God for liberation, he simply prays that wherever I may take my birth, I may not forget you. That's all. That is devotee's prayer. A devotee does not say, elevate me heavenly planet or Vaikuntha planet. No, you can put me anywhere. Just like Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Kita Janmoho. My dear Lord, I have no objection if you have to if I have to take my next birth as an insect. No objection as an insect. What to speak of human being or other thing? As an insect. But I must be in the house of a devotee. So that the insect, by eating remnants of foodstuffs left by devotee, he will be delivered. Kita Janmoho. Jata tuya, bahir mukha brahma, janma nahi morash. I don't want to my next birth as Lord Brahma if I forget you. I don't want. But Prabhupada said, that is wanted. That type of attitude, that is wanted, Prabhupada said. A devotee prays to the Lord that he would be able to constantly remember lotus feet of the Lord. Never mind whether an insect or a king or a dog, never mind. That's devotees, pure devotee. Therefore, a person who is Krishna conscious prays to the Lord, my dear Lord, when shall I be fully absorbed in your thoughts of your service? When shall I be simply conscious of you and free from material demands? These are the prayers. This is the problem. Okay, so finally, we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we are saying, Oh Hare, Oh Energy Lord, Oh my Lord Krishna. In this way, we are simply addressing the Lord and His spiritual potency, represented as Radha Krishna, Sitaram, Lakshmi Narayan. The devotee always prays to Lord and His internal energy consort, so that he may engage in the transcendental loving service. That is the perfect prayer. Okay, so we'll go quickly through Acharya's commentaries. So here, Madhvācārya explains, after the devotee develops knowledge and devotion, the Lord, by His mercy, qualifies the devotee to perceive Him and reveals Himself unto the devotee. All sins are washed away by that vision. So finally this shloka, Madhvācārya says, now this is the moment when actually Lord appeared to His devotee. Okay. So translation goes on like this. Now, after seeing the Lord, O leader dwelling in the body, lead us on the correct path of liberation. O Lord, you know how much we know. Take away our degraded sins. We offer respect with knowledge and devotion to you. That is translation by Madhvācārya. He explains, Vayunam means knowledge. The usage is found in Bhagavatam, so immediately he quotes, Brahma saw the whole world by the knowledge given by you. Jahuranam. Juhuranam means that which degrades us. Yuyodi means that which separates us. Yuyodi means separate us from our sins, from sinful action. That's the sentence means, remove our sins which degrade us. Okay? And then he quotes Skanda Purana. Manu, the king prayed to Yagya, remove from us sin which make us look very small and take rebirth, and lead us to the treasure of liberation. With knowledge and devotion we should offer respects repeatedly. And Raghavendra Tirtha's Kandartha commentary also says, O Lord, lead us on the right path from which there is no return towards prosperity and liberation. That is the prayer. So, clear, straightforward. Vedānta-deśika commentaries. O leaders of all beings, performer of pastimes. The word Deva means one who performs pastimes. You know everything. Lead us to knowledge, to practice which yield enough wealth to maintain our bodies. Destroy the obstacles which create crookedness in us. We offer respects to you, saying Nama repeatedly. So he explains, this commentary is very amazing. This verse indicates attaining the object of desires, the Lord, who is addressed here as Agni. Now, you see, as I told you, some commentators are pushing that this is prayer to Agni, this is prayer to Agni. Indeed, this shloka is found in the Vedas, in the Agni Stotra. And it's just repeated here in Isopanisad. So you may say, oh, Vaishnavacharya will say that, you see, refers to the Lord and this actually is Agni. But look at this explanation. The Lord is addressed as Agni because the Lord acts through the body of Agni. The Lord, as the indwelling spirit of Agni, is expressed in verses such as Yogno Tishtan Agner Antaroyam Agni Naveda Yasyagni Shariram Yognim Antaro Yamayati Shata Atma Antaryamya Amritaha. Look at this quote. This is very amazing from Brihat Aranyaka Upanishad. The eternal Lord as Paramatma is situated in Agni, within Agni, whom Agni does not know, or whom Agni is the body, who controls Agni from within. You see that one? Yam Agnir Naveda, Yasyagni Shariram, Yu Agnim Antaro Yamayati Esha, Ta Atman Antaryami Amrita. Now you know why Lord is rightfully called Agni. It's so clear, no? It's so clear. And Madhvācārya says this, that all names of devatas, these are all Vishnu's names, but these are secondary names of Vishnu. All the names of demigods, are actually, just like we have, all of us, we have Krishna's names. Devatas also. Shiva. Shiva means auspicious. And Rig Veda mantra addressed to Lord Vishnu says, Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram. It's so famous, but nothing to do with Shiva mantras. If you see the old Sukta, Stotra there, then nothing about Shiva. It's all about the glories of Vishnu. No? So, like that, everywhere. Indra, Vishnu's name. No? One devotee told me that before taking Diksha and before taking seriously Krishna Bhakti, he got a son. So one Gaudiya Vaishnava sannyasi came to his house for a little bhajan kirtan program. There was a program. So he asked the sannyasi, oh Maharaj, you're here, please bless, give the name to my son. So that Gaudiya Vaishnava said, oh, give a name, Indra. So this devotee is so disappointed. Oh, why you give me Indra? You give some, it's unusual name, for Gaudiya Vaishnava sannyasi giving Indra. And then he quoted Madhvācārya that these are all names of Vishnu. Actually, these are all names of Vishnu, And sometimes we had our, in our Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya also, we have a name, Jayadvaita. And some of Gaudiya Mats were commenting, why Prabhupada gave them Jayadvaita? Why Jayadvaita? Jayadvaita. Why Jayadvaita? They didn't like it. Madhvas, they don't like it also, that name. But Lord is Advaitam, Achyutam, Anadim, Anantarupam. That's Lord's name. We can't ignore it. No, we can't just dismiss it. Correct? Brahmananda. Again they criticize Prabhupada. Oh, he's giving to Gaudiya Vaishnava name Brahmananda. It looks like Paka Mayavadi name, Brahmananda. No? But Krishna is Brahmananda. Krishna is Premananda. No? No problem. No, we have no problem. Our Guru Maharaj's name was Ilapati Das. Correct? Who is Ila? Oh, huh? Earth. And then somebody will get, people were confused. They didn't know that it refers to Vishnu. Then, so many names. What is it? Mataji got name. Mahamaya Devidas. And she was shocked. I know. But it refers to spiritual potency also. Or many different names were there. With, Mahesh. Mahesh, what is it? What is that devotee from Brno got the Diksha? No, no, two of them. Yeah, there is Ganesh Das, Prabhupada disciple also. Ganapati Das.
Vayu.
Huh? Vayu Das. No? But remember, that refers to that Mukhya Prana, Anila. Okay, so like that. Okay, so see, this is, you see the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad quoted for explanation Agni. Or, explanation. The Lord may directly be called Agni because Agni means one who leads in front position, Agranayana. So again, it refers to the Vishnu. Leads in front position, leader. No? Eko bahunam yovidatika. Thus it is said, Sakshadapya avirodam Jaimini. Jaimini says that the word Agni can denote the Supreme Brahman without any contradiction. Commentaries. Jaimini's commentary. Manifest in us, Naya, knowledge by right method, by method devoid of any trace of forbidden acts, for attaining sufficient wealth, for worshipping you, and protecting our bodies to attain knowledge of you. This is another meaning of the prayer. No? Or, also suitable to the context, dhana, wealth, can refer to spiritual wealth, as in following statements. Give us sufficient wealth, means sufficient wealth for worshipping you and protecting our bodies. This much. Or, dhana means spiritual wealth also. And again he quotes the Shastra. Earn steady spiritual wealth, which cannot be stolen, cannot be dissipated by king's powers, and cannot be divided by inheritance. So this is a good one. Cannot be divided by inheritance and dissipated by king's power. King will not stolen your money. That is spiritual wealth. So who was example? Again, King Janaka, famous. No? The text, King Janaka said, my treasures are unlimited, though I possess nothing. If the whole Mithila were burned down, still nothing on mine is burned, since the treasure is spiritual. And of course, belong to the Lord also, Mahabharata. So now Vedānta-deśika Acharya says, according to logicians, one single mantra can have several correct meanings corresponding to a specific context or other considerations. So he goes on explaining the mantra. O Lord, endow with suitable, wonderful pastimes, Deva, which will be awarded to one who desires them. Produce in us, Asman, your unalloyed devotees, surrendered only to you alone, with no other goal, by the proper means of gaining wealth, all types of knowledge. So produce in us all types of knowledge, because we are surrendered to you. Vishwani Vayunani. Vishwani Vayunani. Vishwani means the knowledge of Vishwa, the knowledge of the universe, all kinds of knowledge. So he quotes immediately here, Maya Vayunam Jnanam. Maya means Vayunam or Jnanam. These Vayunam and Jnanam are synonymous. In these ways, Vayunani means various methods with knowledge as the chief means. Okay. Since you know everything with one, all the methods for attaining the four goals of human life according to qualification, you should lead us who are ignorant towards them. Separate us, you Yodi, from sin, destroy in us the obstacles, enaha, sin, which prevent us from seeing you, consisting of omitting to perform what should be done and performing what should not be done. So this is the guidance. He's asking, protect us from sin. What is the sin? That we do wrong things, that we perform forbidden acts and we are not engaged in devotional service. These sins oppress us with an inconceivable variety of crookedness, juhuranam, which causes bondage in this world. We offer salutations to you plentifully and repeatedly, bhuishtham, with utterance of namaha, by reciting your qualities such as being the sole resource of the jiva. So here he explained a little bit of grammar here. The verbs. So here the idea is, O Lord, please merciful that we may offer you respect. Moksha Dharma describes that even liberated person offers her respects, nama ityeva vadinaha. Even liberated souls offer respects to the Lord. The inhabitants of Shvetadvipa, assembling together, run towards that light with hands joined in reverential attitude full of joy and uttering the one word, namaha. We bow to you. Mahabharata is given. The word ukti, utterance, indicates that even one just utters the word namaha without mental or physical offering of respect, the Lord should be pleased. Even if you say, Sri Krishnaya Namaha, like in Udupi, whenever you come, you will hear the mantra, Sri Krishnaya Namaha, they chant. No? Om Namo Narayana, they chant in that. So even if you say just word Namaha, even mental or physical offering respect, still the Lord is pleased. Just by words. What to speak of mind, what to speak of body. You know, 3 ways we serve the Lord, by body, mind and words. But even words will do. Even you say, Lord, Namo Namaha. That gives the pleasure to the Lord. Thus, Vedānta-deśika concludes, thus this work, after compiling descriptions of the existence of the Lord, His powers, His worship, and the excellence of the result is completed. So he said, this is my commentary on Isopanisad completed. Now look at very nice how he wrote. By the mercy of Hayagriva, Hayagriva is deity worship for the knowledge, because Brahma lost the Vedas. They were stolen. So Lord Hayagriva came back and given back knowledge to Brahma. So by the mercy of Hayagriva, Vedānta-deśika of Vishwamitra Gotra, for the pleasure of those learned in scriptures, has produced this commentary, meant for the welfare of the world, on the Isopanisad, which appear as the end of the Yajurveda, Vajrasana Samhita, and which clarifies what is unclear concerning the Lord. No? What is the message in this Isopanisad? Clarifies what is unclear concerning the Lord. No. This Isopanisad does not in any way approve of the philosophy that all souls are one. He concludes, the essence he gives here, no? Does not in any way approve philosophy that all are one. That all souls are Supreme Brahman of Vedāveda philosophy. Now this is not our Achintya Vedāveda. This is Vedāveda of Yadav Prakash and Bhaskara. It's a little different from Shankara's philosophy. Or philosophy of Jains or Buddhists. Or philosophy speaks of lack of necessity of liberation and the falsity of fearing material existence, Charvaka. So he just gives none of this is explained here in Isopanisad. Actually, they are all defeated by Isopanisad. Okay. Now, that Vedāveda philosophy, actually, Yadav Prakash and Bhaskar, they technically it's called Brahma Parinamavada. Our philosophy is Shakti Parinamavada. And what is Mayavad philosophy? Vivartavada. Okay. So just that don't get confused, this Vedāveda, because they will ask me notes and they'll say, but we should say our philosophy, Vedāveda is... No, this is not exactly our philosophy. Okay, Baladeva commentary. O Lord of pastimes, O fire, lead us on the splendid path to treasure of liberation. You know all of our actions and thoughts. Destroy our sins, which distracts us from you. May we offer respect repeatedly to you. After praying for Lord, for a direct vision, Shloka 15-16, the devotee prays for liberation to the Lord addressed as a fire. The matter is Trishtu. O person who has many pastimes, Deva, O Lord in the form of fire, Agni, lead us on the right path, the path of liberation, Devayan, for the treasure of liberation, Raya. So here the Baladeva translates, the not material pleasure like Vedānta-deśika mentions, of course he explains both, the material and spiritual treasure, but Baladeva immediately says, for the treasure of liberation, that's the real treasure. How is the Lord described? He knows, Vidvan, all Vishwani, all action or all our knowledge, Vayunani. Separate us from sins which are crooked, forming obstacles to liberation in the form of desires. What are the obstacles of liberations? Our own material desires. This is what is obstacle of liberation. Many times we may offer respects to you in order to become pure. We cannot repay you for responding to our desires. All we can do is offer repeated respects. That is very nice, very clear, very nice. Bhaktivinoda Thakur's translation. O Agni purifier, Guide us on the right path to the highest spiritual treasure. You see how Bhaktivinoda talks. Again, what is that? To the higher spiritual treasure. It's love of God. Back home, back to Godhead. No? O Lord, since you understand our extent of knowledge of the world, and consequent detachment from it, knowledge of God and devotion, please lead us there. Destroy our obstructing sins. We repeatedly offer you respects. So here, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, when the jiva remembers his previous sins, the jiva becomes anxious concerning attainment of liberation. No? Prabhupada say, one should always remember what you before coming to ISKCON. Then you appreciate, and then you become humble. What would be of us if we were not coming to Prabhupada's association, means into his movement? Remember what you did before, what we did before, and what would we become if not meeting devotees? So here, the jiva becomes anxious concerning attainment liberation if he remembers previous sins. Therefore, he addresses the pure Paramatma's Agni. The purifying power of fire comes from the Lord. So Lord, please purify us. The jiva then sees that there is no method except devotion to the Lord with suitable knowledge and detachment. Okay, so what is it? Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is performed and the result is visible, that there is a accompanied by the Vidya and Vairagya. It must be like this. It's not just bhakti, it's not just sentiment, it's not just Hajiism. Krishna, I talk to Krishna. And then you talk to somebody else's wife after that. That doesn't work like that. It must be accompanied by Vairagya, must be accompanied by Vidya. Not sentimentalism. Thus he prays in this way. Knowledge means knowledge of God. By knowledge of the universe, Vishwagyana, one gets higher knowledge of Lord, Vijnana. With that knowledge of God, one attains pragyana or bhakti. Shruti says, Etat Vijnaya pragyanam kurvita. After understanding the Lord, you should perform bhakti. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, everyone should consider the following Bhagavatam verse. Tat shradadana munayo jnana vairagya yuktaya pasyantyatmani chatmanam bhaktya shruta grihitaya. The seriously inquisitive students or sage, well equipped with knowledge and detachment, realizes the absolute truth by rendering devotional service in terms of what he has heard from the Vedanta Shruti. This is from Bhagavatam. No? So this is very important for devotees, that we check our progress, how much we are detached. And also the Lord gives knowledge. By devotional service, the knowledge will be revealed. It's not just memorizing shlokas, but the conclusions of Vedic knowledge. Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, apparently he was not literate, he couldn't read much Shastra, but you will see all the devotees will come to him and ask him, what is the proper understanding, what is the proper conclusion of Shastra? And he would guide them. So that's proper understanding, that devotees who are dedicated in service, in book distribution, in preaching, you can see they get right conclusion, they get proper attitude, they got proper understanding. And people who go on too much into Sanskrit, many times they miss the point. They went on emphasizing something else than what Prabhupada says. Or those who do not read books and serve, but they may mix up the mundane welfare activities and say that this is for preaching, this is in the name of bhakti, this is Nirbandha Krishna Sambhada, this is called Yukta Vairagya, and like that. Okay, just few more quotes from Srila Prabhupada for the end. Okay. Generally, in the Upanishads, the Supreme Absolute Truth is described in an impersonal way. But the personal aspect of Absolute Truth is mentioned in Isopanisad, where we find the following verse. Hiranmayena patrena satyasya pihitam mukham tattvam bhūṣaṇa pavrinu satya dharmaya drishtaye. O my Lord, sustaining all that lives, your real face is covered by your dazzling effulgence. Kindly remove that covering, exhibit yourself to your pure devotee. The impersonalists do not have the power to go beyond the effulgence of God and arrive at the personality of Godhead, from whom this effulgence is emanating. The Isopanisad is a hymn to that personality of Godhead. It is not that the impersonal Brahman is denied, It is also described, but that Brahman is revealed to be glaring effulgence of body of Lord Krishna. So this is really, when Prabhupada speaks about Isopanisad, he speaks these two important aspects. Of course, mentions others also, you can't really say like that. But he emphasizes two aspects. One is principle, Isha Vachyam Idam Sarvam, that everything belongs to Lord, everything should be using His service, and keep your quota. And then he emphasizes this so much. Personal aspect, this is personal Upanishads. Okay? And then also he mentions that those who worship demigods are condemned in Isopanisad and like that, that Vidya also. The avidya is exposed in Isopanisad, condemned like that. But this is very important. So basically these two shlokas could be learned. I said one, but basically these two are very important. Okay, here, one more quote. The statement of Isopanisad is that everything animate or inanimate is controlled and owned by Supreme Personality Godhead. Because He is the Supreme Controller, He is also Supreme Proprietor. In our practical experience, we see that the man who controls the business establishment is the proprietor. Similarly, since God is the controller of this material world, He is also its proprietor. This means that as far as possible, we should engage everything in Lord's service. So this was previous quote was on that. Impersonalism, now this is the quote of that Ishavasya principle. That what about our own needs, that is explained in Isopanisad. One should accept only those things necessary for himself, which are set aside as his quota, and one should not accept other things, known well to whom they belong. Krishna consciousness means to understand things as they are. So this is the summary now. Prabhupada gives summary of Isopanisad. So if we simply understand these principles, we'll be well situated in Krishna consciousness. And then Prabhupada says, when book was published in English, Prabhupada said, our Isopanisad is now published. This excellent book of God consciousness should be introduced as a study book for school and college students because it's so nicely explained about God consciousness. Prabhupada's desire. Any sincere gentleman serious about knowing God consciousness must read this book. A little education will make everyone aware what is meant by God. It is a challenge to atheists, agnostics, skeptics, and gross materialists. See that? It is a challenge. It's a clarifying what is to be done, what is not to be done, who is to be worshipped, who is not to be worshipped, what is a process, what is not process, and God is person or He is in person. Everything is covered in this Isopanisad. You notice that? For days and days and days we are discussing, looking tiny small book. How was book distribution? Oh, just one small book today, Prabhuji. Oh, which one? Isopanisad. Good, it's an atom bomb. If they read, they have to become devotee. It's an amazing book, no? Okay. So here, this is the summary of Isopanisad given according to shlokas. The first mantra is the main mantra, is the essence of all Isopanisad. Ishavasya principle, all providing, controller, owner of all, gives us our quota. Ishavasyam idam sarvam. Then mantra 2 and 3, they discuss results of following this principle or not following that principle. Mantra 4 and 5 describe the inconceivable Lord and His potencies. Mantra 6 and 7, how Mahabhagavata sees Lord and sees those potencies acting. Mantra 8, Lord's transcendental form depicted. Prabhupada said. Then mantra 9, 10, 11, Vidya versus avidya concept is explained and concluded what is to be done. And then mantra 12, 13, 14, demigods and impersonal worship versus worship of Supreme Lord is discussed. Mantra 15, 16, 17, 18 are prayers. 15, prayer to remove Brahmajyoti and show your face. Praying again, request to favor his devotee. Prayer to bless for liberation, Swarupa at the time of death. And prayer to Lord to rectify him from within the heart. That's the summary in one way. So now, thank you very much for hearing all these days patiently for hours and hours. This important book, and Srila Prabhupada wanted us to conduct these Bhakti Shastri classes to study his books. And Srila Prabhupada said those who pass examination, they shall be awarded the title Bhakti Shastri, studying Bhakti Shastras, you become a Bhakti Shastri, holder of the title. And then he will be officially recognized as a preacher in our movement. So nowadays in ISKCON, unless you have Bhakti Shastra degree, it's difficult to get any, you may say, what do you say, managerial service. You may say the Sankirtan leader should have Bhakti Shastra, temple president must have Bhakti Shastra, if you want to take sannyas, you must have at least Bhakti Shastra degree, like that. So, and it's not for to hold degree or to get some post or something, but we want to study Srila Prabhupada's books, that we become inspired, purified, strong in Krishna Bhakti, proper guidance, full faith, and we want to ultimately develop love of God. So, reading Prabhupada's book is hearing from Prabhupada, it's Harikatha, it's no difference from hearing his lecture or hearing directly, And if we read Srila Prabhupada's books, all our spiritual becomes strong. Books are the basis, Srila Prabhupada says. Devotees who do not read Prabhupada's books, who do not hear his lectures, are really not strongly, not well situated in Krishna Bhakti. Or I can say opposite. Those devotees who read and who hear Prabhupada, you can see they understand proper philosophy. They're not misguided. They're not bewildered by deviations. They're not doing deviations. They're not shaken by any material mess or even by some quarrel among devotees or whatever. They're firmly situated in Krishna Bhakti. And Srila Prabhupada given these books for us and to share the transcendental knowledge to all other fallen conditioned souls. So when you read Prabhupada, you are inspired to speak, you are inspired to preach, you are inspired to follow, you can inspire others. It's just so much potency is there, completely spiritual, nothing to do. You see one tiny book, we are for days and days, hours and hours and hours, we are trying to, discuss and understand. And it's not that we, now we understood everything, Now we understand that we have to read it again. So really, after the course, we recommend always that now you read one more time. Just read it in few hours. Just read it in one day or in 2 days. Just in one breath, as to say. And then you will see how now different perception of the book is there. Okay. Oh, there was beautiful quote for yesterday's class, just for your information. Yesterday we were discussing about the children, but I couldn't remember where is that shloka, but they're beautiful. Look at this. Prabhupada says, Bhagavatam, to become pure devotee of Krishna, 2 things are very much essential. Namely, having chance to be born in family of a devotee and having blessings of bona fide spiritual master. You heard that? The children discussing. Okay, thank you very much. Śrīla Prabhupāda ki jai, Śrī Isopanisad ki jai, Gaur Premanande.